Well, hello everybody. Major video. Russia, Ukraine. It's so surreal. It's unbelievable. And you know, here today I have a live to do here for Canadians and the convoy and the rest of it, getting to the absolute truth and reality of Operation Warp Speed and Pfizer in its entirety. But breaking, literally, I'm waiting to go home, and who goes live? The Minister of Foreign Affairs for Russia, live on Facebook, full English translation in its entirety. And guess what, everybody? Guess what's bold? Kiev, the unitary government, and the two oblasts inside current Ukraine. Absolutely. The unitary regime of Kiev over those two oblasts. The minister goes through it entirely as he's grilled. And I'm going to tell you something. I've tagged. I got traffic troubles. Absolutely. They go through the two oblasts. And for President Joe Biden, former Donald Trump, this is the issue, everybody. The Constitution of the United States of America has now been officially challenged by one Vladimir Putin. And what I mean by that is this, everybody. There are only two allies from World War II, two of the nations that run this world today, as they are five locked in an eternal union. And nobody can deny that. There's no country that can override it, make it stand against it. That is the world. Now, you will hear news stories in Canada trying to tell you that these are raging empires and yada, yada, yada. The world voted for that. We all did. World War II. The liar Chrystia Freeland and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tried to take some stage to tell you something that isn't correct. But I'm going to tell you something. Ukraine is unitary. Canada is a federal system, federalism. So is the United States of America and Russia. The big difference is crown customary law. Russia and USA don't have any of that. They are true federalist societies, two division of power states where they give absolutely power to their people. Now, you can complain and you can say yes, as a lot of academics do about Russia. Very autocratic because it's not a multi-party system. You get to vote for only one, Vladimir Putin and his state party. Federally, this is not true for the over 84 regions, and even more, the attached republics themselves, who are in a federalism like the EU. Guess what, everybody? There's no multi-party EU. It's one-party system, EU, European Union. Africa Union is the same thing, everybody. You can go all over the world, you'll find this. USA is a multi-party system. We give it that. Yes, it's democratic. But then there's countries like Canada with the illusion of democracy. Or worse, much more of the UN states in this world are unitary, meaning you could have multi-party, but guess what? No division of powers, none whatsoever, for all the regions, which are provinces or states like the 50. Imagine tomorrow, USA announces we're unitary. We've dissolved all 50 states of their constitutions. We've removed all division of powers. It is now up to the central Washington government to make a one blanket system across all 50 states. You now will be run by your biggest cities through the federal government. Can you imagine Canadians that happening? And they want that. People like Justin Trudeau, they want that. Municipal mayors and whatnot, they want that. I don't know, it's crazy traffic tonight, everybody. I'm sorry. Hammer and brakes in the fast lane. It's kind kind of an erratic night. But to go further, that's what happened with Ukraine, everybody. Regardless of communism in the fall, back in 1989, all 84 regions in the then 5 republics all had a division of powers, meaning they had their own autonomy, their own self-government, control of their businesses, and basically the regional or republic laws inside. Same as Canada, as you guys all know it. Canadians are confused because you don't have any provincial constitutions. You never have. There's no one size fits all. Any provincial dictator can make it up in a majority. They can make it up, and there's nothing anybody can do in the province. They can close your business. They can make new laws any day of the week. This is not the same for the United States of America, and it absolutely was never the same for the former Soviet Union or the current Federation of Russia. Now, all those who went independent from the fall of the Soviet Union, they didn't realize, all the people who left the former Soviet Union and got put into new republics didn't realize that that meant they would lose their division of powers as regions, sub-regions. It's like if, let's just say, USA, or we'll just go to Canada to make it easier. Let's just say for Canada, all of a sudden the Atlantic said we're splitting, but all of a sudden the province of Prince Edward Island is no longer PEI. It's now the Republic of Newfoundland. Let's just say that happened. Newfoundland, St. John's gets a central government and they run all of the Atlantic. They'll say what Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and all the Acadian parts, all of it will be dissolved, and it will be one St. John's ruling party, and PEI, all of them, will do whatever St. John says. They're going to say, hey, yeah, it's great to be Atlantic, but, you know, there's differences. There's differences of our provinces. We have different resources. We have different things we want to pursue. It's our autonomy. We have our own cultures. Even though you can group us as Atlantic, we're not all the same. Nova Scotia is not the same as Newfoundland. New Brunswick isn't the same. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick have huge Acadian populations that aren't going to go with the St. John's one size fits all. And of course, you'll see that the central government's going to favor St. John's, bleeding out all those provinces. It won't work out. That's not why they wanted to go independent, let's say, from Canada. They wanted to remain provinces, but have a federal union. That's called federalism, and still have a division of powers of each and every province. The 2 obelisks that got independence in 1991, as well as Crimea, they voted for independence, but they did not vote to dissolve their regional status. And that's what Kiev did to them. Kiev administers whatever laws they want, and they've chased many from the 2 obelisks inside Donbass, chased them back to Russia in huge numbers. The same happened for Crimea. And those who stayed to fight on, still in what is a clear majority, a majority enough to know that even Ukrainian citizens, even Ukrainian world experts, the smartest men in Ukraine right now in legal speak, who just answered me on Twitter, took my paper, and that's for the country of Ukraine. The smartest legal minds in Ukraine took my paper and agree with me 100%. And now Russia just went live to challenge USA on federalism, meaning if Joe Biden doesn't back down and he goes with the unitary state Ukraine and destroys Donbass, giving Kiev power to remove the regional powers, which they already have, of Donbass, its 2 obelisks, it's the same as the President of the United States saying, if I can do that in Ukraine, I can destroy all 50 states in USA and go unitary. This is not the foreign ministry of the United States of America. It is 100% in violation of the United States Constitution, according to the Monroe Doctrine. And any president who proceeds with Kiev in that manner is breaching the Constitution of the United States and betraying all 50 states of the United States of America. And this is the action of Russia in the name of Donbass and why they're standing toe-to-toe with Kiev. And they just put USA on notice. So, former President Donald Trump, if you have any minds left in your circle, your inner circle, great experts, it doesn't look that way. As I've been watching your son post in your name and even yourself, it doesn't look like much of the former Republican insiders are with you anymore. And you better reach out, because you have a chance to take Joe Biden's presidency away in short time. Midterms, they're likely to lose Senate and House. GOP can capitalize on the statement made by the Minister of Foreign Affairs from Russia, because it too is bound constitutionally to the United States of America. Now, it should be bound by Canada and many others, but we have Crown customary law override. We've never had constitutions in any province. Sure, we have cultural distinctions, but poor Canadians have never had a binding constitution cementing their Section 92 division of powers that are absolutely cemented in the United States of America for all 50 states, absolutely cemented for all 84 regions of the Russian Federation and what remains of the republics in the Federation of Russia today. All of those regions and republics enjoy the full democracy of federalism in the division of powers, meaning business, meaning health, meaning education, and the rest of it. The autocracy of one Vladimir Putin and the Russian Federation is only known federally. All the division of powers remain in democracy for absolutely all 84 regions, just like the 50 states of the United States of America. These are the only two countries in the entire world that remain that way as UNSCP 5 members, and there are only 7 others that are a close match in all 193 nations. Russia and USA are the last fight of the little people in this world today. Believe it or not, that is true. And you can't find the greatest legal minds in the world to dispel what I've just told all Canadians, Americans, and Russians, as Russia has just told all Russians, and absolutely in English, just challenged the Constitution of the United States of America, putting all 50 governors of the United States of America on notice. So guess what? Joe Biden and Donald Trump, all 50 state governors, whether they're Republican or Democrat, does not matter. They know their division of powers. They know their democracy. They know the power of the people. They will not stand for a president in a foreign ministry demolishing division of powers, breaching the foreign principles of the Monroe Doctrine, older than the United States of America itself, enshrined in more states than not, older than the USA itself, enshrined in state constitutions in a large majority currently today of the United States of America. You will find Democrat and Republican alike understand this, know this, live and die by it. They even have their own state senates, their own state legislatures, parliaments. That is the truth. They even have different court systems upon state, and they will not, and I repeat, not give that up for nothing. And Americans, state governments understand this full well. It's why states have their own militaries and militias to stand against a federal government that would ever impose any kind of unitary autocracy upon the 50 states. It is constitutionally illegal, and it's also, with the Monroe Doctrine, illegal for a federal government to pursue that in any area throughout the world, in any country throughout this world registered in the UN as per World War II, cemented, bound by the 50 states forever. It's exact same thing as what Donald Trump tried to do by stealing the Electoral College. It is not federal. It belongs to each and every state under division of powers and cannot be taken by any president. Just as no president can go out in the world and command a unitary system over federalism anywhere in this world, as limited as it is. And Kiev is doing that. Ukraine is doing that against Donbass and its two oblasts. And you've been put on notice, Americans. Joe Biden will be terminated as president if all 50 governors are made aware of this. And I promise you, they absolutely will be. Russia has it entirely. This is breaking news, not little. And if you think there's going to be a World War III, think again. Even little people can move mountains, and Russia just moved the mountain. And while I might be a nobody, I can tell you this: those 50 states, when they look at this in its entirety, and the mighty Russia with its great resource capability will get it out, and Republicans on the federal level will eat it up. They will present Joe Biden as he is, a no good, dirty scoundrel. No different than what Donald Trump attempted to do with voter fraud. Now we have Joe Biden with his precious Ukraine. And it's a bad shit stain for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the filthy autocrat would-be Aaron O'Toole. You guys are busted. Jagmeet Singh, you're busted. Your unitary bullshit is over. It's over. And if you think Russia's some little thing you can flick off, think again. And I can promise you, UK's already backing away, and so is France, because they're bound in that union too. And you can watch Boris Johnson pitter-patter around the bush live as he basically says it would take Russia blowing Ukraine to smithereens, which isn't going to happen. They're going to lay down their arms and they're going to walk away should Russia walk in on Donbass for the two oblasts, which is constitutionally and internationally an obligation of Russia as well as USA. Republicans, capitalize on it. Donald Trump Jr., you can get it to your father. Capitalize on it. And whether you do or not, I will be talking to all of your best legal minds, and they will see this clearly as it is, Republican and Democrat alike. That's the funny part. There's going to be more great minds from the Democrats than there are of the Republicans. There's a majority there, and they're going to see this as it really is. Joe Biden's finished. Thanks, everybody. That's my video. Mark my words. It's real, credible, verifiable. And if you don't believe me, as I said 2 days ago, and what did you get today? And I published it. Metro interview published. How would I know of it 2 days before it unless I was there in the first person? And I was invited by a very powerful media company from the United States of America. Got a front row seat. I was there with that CEO on Zoom Live. I watched the whole thing. That's how I know. Why do I get invited to all these things? Why do great academic minds from the United States tag me in major publications, major releases? Why me? A welder working in the primary industry, a third-class citizen, a poor nobody driving a junky old truck? Why would I be included in all these things? How would I get advanced in these things unless I do the work? and I prove my research, and I'm credible, verifiable, and 100% honest. And I've always been, whether people like it or not. I don't care about power and glory. I care about the truth and what's best for all of my people, Canadian people and First people alike. There is no such thing as left or right. There's only up and down. And stay tuned for my next excellent video presentation. It's for First people and Canadians alike. My tour coming this year for both Russia and now it's going to be USA too. As I go through to the UT people, through the Reagan Foundation. Lots is happening for me. We'll get into that, but this video is going to remain as it is on its own. Thanks everybody. Share, share, share. It's huge. The end is near for all the bullshit. There's not going to be no World War III, and Ukraine's going to have to lay it down for Russia. Sorry everybody, but you're going to watch one Joe Biden go down the same road as Donald Trump just went down. You watch in the months to come. It's over for one Joe Biden. And you know what's funny about that? It's going to be done by mostly Republican or Democrat high minds. They're going to be shutting him down, just as the Supreme Court did, which has nothing to do with justices. Because I promise you, like the great Democrat Ruth Ginsburg, she was a master of international law, a hero from World War II, a really incredible, powerful legal mind, and I wish she had more time on this earth for the work I had done. I'm lucky to have what I got, as little as it was, but it was valuable, and I'm just grateful. And you know what? The Supreme Court of the United States of America, SCOTUS, can't be usurped by any of these presidents. They will fall, and it doesn't matter Democrat or Republican justice alike. It is one hell of a terrific institution, and it will understand what needs to be done here constitutionally and internationally by the United States of America. I have faith in that. You all just watch in the months to come. Share, share, share. Breaking video. Just unbelievable. Elevated off my tippy toes here. Incredible. Bye now.